I got the moves. I got the moves. Oh, I'm making moves. You gotta move. You gotta make the city move. Like, whoa. I make the city move. I got the move.
Before we begin, please be sure to subscribe for more NBA content if you are new. We are so close to 8,000 subscribers, so all support is greatly appreciated. Be sure to drop a like on the video as well if you enjoy. It does a lot more than it seems. Jayson Tatum has been one of the most impressive young players this season. He's largely improved his game and leaped out of the arguable sophomore slump he had last year, and due to it, he is now a top candidate for the Most Improved Player award. But how good is he actually? Where does Jayson Tatum rank among his peers? Is he a top 3 power forward? Is he a top 15 player? There's a lot of mixed opinions out there, so I'm here to clear the air today. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing Jayson Tatum's last few seasons in the NBA, where I personally believe he ranks in the NBA, and how good I think he can potentially become in the future. Again, if you're new here and enjoy the video, please be sure to subscribe for more NBA content like this. But with that being said, let's talk about Jayson Tatum. Jayson Tatum was one of the top rookies for his class, finishing 3rd in the Rookie of the Year voting back in 2018. The potential he showed in that season was immense, and after working out with Kobe Bryant that summer, the hype was real for Tatum. However, Tatum did struggle in his second year in the NBA, averaging a little under 2 more points per game than his rookie year, and he shot pretty poorly overall, 45% from the field, and many people attribute this to his poor shot selection from that year. Now though, Tatum has finally shown the all-star potential he flashed in his rookie year, breaking out this season with averages of 23.6 points per game, 7.1 rebounds, and 3 assists, and shooting splits of 45% from the field and a phenomenal 40% from 3. The Celtics have been on a roll this year, and Tatum has proved a lot of people wrong throughout, particularly recently. Before the season began, many argued Kemba would be the first option on this team, which was a fair judgment, but the fact people at All-Star Weekend thought both Kemba and Jaylen Brown deserved Tatum's All-Star spot over him is just disrespectful and ridiculous. Tatum has made leaps and bounds in improving his game this season. His overall shot selection is better, he's more efficient and confident with his shot, and it's reflected in his stats, as he's averaging over 8 more points per game than last season, with another rebound and assist or 2. As I mentioned, Tatum also made his first ever All-Star game this year. But how good is he actually? Where does he rank in the NBA today? Firstly, let's take a look at where he ranks for his position. Tatum played power forward this season, so I will be comparing him to other power forwards. However, please keep in mind that this debate is not solely based around just this season, though this season does play a large factor into it. So, where does Jayson Tatum rank as a power forward in today's NBA? First of all, who is Tatum obviously worse than? I think it's extremely easy to say, without a debate, that Giannis Antetokounmpo and Anthony Davis are both better than Jayson Tatum. Giannis is arguably the best player in the league, he's this year's MVP for sure, so no discussion there. Giannis is the best power forward in the game, and obviously ranks above Tatum. Anthony Davis also is arguably a top 5 player in the league, and he's also a contender for both the Defensive Player of the Year and MVP trophy this year. There's no question with this one too, Davis is an absolute superstar, and is clearly better than Jayson Tatum right now. But who are some players that Jayson Tatum is clearly better than? The first to me is Zion Williamson. Zion Williamson has a lot of potential to be something special, don't get me wrong, but he unfortunately doesn't have nearly a big enough sample size for me to rank him over Jayson Tatum yet. I'm sure in the ensuing seasons he can make this a debate, but 20 good games is simply not enough for me to rank him over Jayson Tatum's 100+. Another player I'd say Tatum is quite a fair amount better than is Domantas Sabonis. Sabonis had a great season this year, averaging 18.5 points, 12 boards and 5 assists, and he deservingly made the All-Star game. However, Tatum to me is a lot better. Sabonis is more of a traditional big man, evident by his below mediocre 3-point percentage. He's not as versatile as Tatum, and though he did a great job at replacing Oladipo to keep the Pacers in the playoff hunt this year, I don't think it's harsh to say I'd much rather prefer Tatum as a first option than Sabonis. To sum this up simply, Tatum is a better scorer, better shooter, and has a higher ceiling than Sabonis, which is why I believe he's a fair bit better than Sabonis today. So those are the players I felt like needed a small discussion for as to why I believe they are worse than Jayson Tatum. Any other player I don't mention today is worse than Tatum in my opinion, of course. But before we move on to where I believe Tatum ranks in the entire NBA, there was surprisingly only one player that I think is on a similar level to Tatum at the power forward position, and it's where most of the debate comes in regarding where Tatum ranks in the league today. Pascal Siakam has been phenomenal the last couple seasons, going from a G League star to a role player to the league's most improved player and NBA champion, and now this year is an all-star starter, which is absolutely insane. And compared to Jayson Tatum, it's really hard to split these two apart. Both average around 23 points per game, both average 7 rebounds and about 3 assists each. They are literally almost identical. In terms of their game, Tatum has overall slightly better skills, he can create his own shot better, he has better defense, etc. However, Siakam and the Raptors have a better record than the Tatum-led Celtics, so there is an argument for perhaps more impact made by Siakam than Tatum. Again though, when Boston play with Tatum on offense, they're a plus 7.2, and the Raptors are a plus 4.1 with Siakam. Overall, it's really hard to split the two apart, and if you say Siakam is better than Tatum, I would not be mad at all, but today, I'm going to say Tatum is better as of right now. I say this as I believe Tatum's game is overall more polished than Siakam's, and as shown by the offensive numbers, Tatum is more impactful, as well as being a better defender. To be fair though, I could have said Siakam here, as he was an all-star starter, not a reserve like Tatum, and the Raptors have won more games than Boston. It really depends what angle you look at it for this comparison. But with that all being said though, I am going to give this one to Jayson Tatum today, making him, in my opinion of course, the third best power forward in the NBA. But where does Tatum rank across the entire NBA? In my eyes, I see him as being a top 20 player in the league. At worst, maybe top 22, but I think a good area to place him in is around the 15 to 20 mark. He's not as good as guys like Westbrook, and he's around the same level as a guy like Devin Booker, Siakam, Karl Anthony Towns, etc. However, he is better than a guy like D'Lo, Adebayo, Gobert, players on that sort of level. So yeah, Tatum being considered as a top 15 to 20 player is fair in my opinion. Obviously though, Tatum is still very young and has a lot of untapped potential. Him being a top 20 player is not his peak by any means. So how good can he become? In my eyes, I think Tatum definitely has the potential to be a top 7 player in the league one day, and I think he can be the Celtics player of the future, a guy that could lead them to a final appearance or two. Him being a top 20 player in just his 3rd season in the league is a sign he's a special player, so all I can say is the future is very bright in Boston. Overall though, this is what I think of Jayson Tatum. He's a top 3 power forward in the NBA, only behind Giannis Antetokounmpo and Anthony Davis, but I wouldn't be mad if you placed him at 4 behind Pascal Siakam. He's also a top 20 player in the league to me, and depending on how you view it, could be placed as high as 16 or 15 in my opinion. He's been amazing this season, improving his game, shot selection, and his overall confidence has skyrocketed, reflected by his stats and team record. In my eyes, he's also an underrated candidate for the Most Improved Player award as well due to this. At the end of the day, Tatum has simply put the world on notice of what he can do. He's nowhere near his prime yet, and that's what's made this season so spectacular. Jayson Tatum to me is a top 3 power forward in the league and a top 20 player at minimum. That is how good he is, exactly. And that will conclude the video. What do you guys think of this? How good is Jayson Tatum to you? Where does he rank in the NBA to you? Is he a top 3 power forward, or do you think Pascal Siakam is better? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop it a like and subscribe. But with that being said, I am out. Peace.